Hi everybody, welcome to Naughty by Imagination, and we're going to be reading some Fanfiction. I'm your host Napoleon, and today's selection is titled The Lion and the Lamb by Ian Samcat. Ian Samcat. Iansamcat. All one word. The description reads, Dio was ashamed. So very ashamed. He would never admit it, but Jonathan Joestar stole his heart. Rated M for later chapters. Um, the chapters are kind of broke apart, but it kind of doesn't seem like chapters, so this should be long enough for this video. We're gonna get through it. Well, we're gonna try to, cause I done read some weird shit today, so I'm kind of nothing gonna surprise me. Like if this is like weird as fuck, then I'm prepared. I'm not, but I am. Dio was ashamed, so very ashamed, as he sat in his plush bed with a hard cock and an even dirtier mind. Confound that Joestar boy. Dio had never thought that two of his light fixtures blowing out would lead him to fantasizing about the perfect specimen of a man known as Jonathan Joestar. I mean, I don't get a hard dick every time my light bulb goes out, but to each their own, I guess. Flashback. It was a Thursday when the city experienced a major blackout. At first, Dio hadn't thought anything of it. Just another blackout. They'd been occurring regularly lately since the last big storm had set everything askew with his breaker box, but he'd been too busy to get it fixed. But this was the last straw. As usual, he reset the breaker and flipped the light switch. However, this time in resulted in a bright flicker of light and sparks showering down into his broad shoulders and onto the counter next to him. He looked up. Something in the elaborate light fixture had blown. He flipped the light switch a few more times and no anvil. Damn storm, he growled in frustration. He thumbed through his wallet, finding the business card of the man who helped him build the place, George Joestar. Oh, okay, this is an interesting universe. He pulled out his phone and typed in the number on the card. Hello, this is Hamon Electricity. How can we help you today? Answered the voice of a young man. Hello, Dio responded. May I speak to George Joestar, please? There was a momentary pause before the man replied. He won't be available for some time. He's overseas for a meeting with the head of the Speedwagon Foundation. When will be the next time he is available? Probably not for another month, sorry. You need something urgent, I can help you. Dio sighed. And who are you exactly? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't introduce myself. I'm Jonathan Joestar. Jonathan Joestar? Dio repeated. Yes, I'm George Joestar's son. I'm running the business for father while he's away. Okay, well, what can I help you with? I can meet you right now if you wish. I haven't got anything on my schedule until this evening, he said politely. Yes, that'll be fine. Come to the World Coffee. See what you did there, the world. Do you know where it is? Dio inquired of the Joestar boy. Yes, I'll arrive in 10 minutes. Good, thank you, Dio replied, then hung up. Dio sat waiting with his fingers templed, and with his fingers templed as he watched the door of his shop with the intensity of a hawk. Soon a towering, muscular bear of a man stepped through his door. Though having never seen him before, Dio knew he was a Joestar boy from the resemblance he bore to his father. He saw Dio gazing upon him. Well, oh shit! Gazing upon him in a way of a predator's eyes, in the way of a predator eyes its prey. It made him uncomfortable. However, he still walked up to the lawn. He had a job to do, and his gentlemanly nature wouldn't allow him to forego it. Mr. Brando? Jonathan asked, shaking the man's hand. Yes, Jonathan Joestar, I presume? Dio answered, as his ruby eyes bored into Jonathan's light turquoise ones as he stood up. Jonathan nodded, then turned his head away as his cheeks donned a faint shade of pink. The way Dio stared at him like a juicy piece of meat made his mind go to very ungentlemanly places. Ungentlemanly. He couldn't deny that Dio was an attractive man, with a handsome, chiseled face, beautiful golden locks, and a physique similar to his. Albert Dio was a few inches shorter. Jonathan? Dio said with slightly irritated on. Oh, I'm sorry, Jonathan. Dio said with a slightly irritated tone, like a mother reminding a child for the millionth time to brush his teeth or not to put his elbows on the table. Yes, he replied with his head snapped back up. He hadn't realized that his eyes had been traveling down the blonde's body. Oh, damn, you fucking dirty boy. He blushed a he blushed a tint deeper as he looked into Dio's eyes, hoping that he hadn't noticed his odd behavior. You said you were coming to talk with me, right? Then talk with me. Jonathan tried to pull himself back together to compose what he would say without sounding like an utter fool. Right. What did you need to speak to my father about? Damn it, JoJo, put yourself together. This is a professional business. Stop behaving like a schoolgirl, he thought to himself. Yes, I need, I need my breaker fixed. And those two light fixtures replaced, Dio said, gesturing to the blown out fixtures. Jonathan's eyes lit up like a puppy's. Oh, I can do that. I just need to get my tools from my truck. It's just outside. He turned and ran out of the coffee shop to get the necessary equipment. And that's when Dio's shame started. When he watched Jonathan run out, noticing just how sculpted the young Joestar was, his eyes resting momentarily on Jonathan's ass before he went out the door. Dio smirked, recalling the way the young Joestar had gotten flustered as he was speaking. Jonathan walked back into the establishment and headed in the direction of the faulty light fixtures, Dio's eyes following him. JoJo, Dio called after him in a salty tone, using his nickname. Jonathan gulped before turning around to face Dio. Yes, he replied almost timidly, as an adorable light pink staining his cheeks. Jonathan's blush deepened. Shit, I skipped him. I believe we need to have a private conversation in my office, Dio said, smirking. Jonathan's blush deepened. Did I do something wrong, Mr. Brando? No, nothing at all, Jonathan. We just need to talk about your schedule for the coming week, he said. And call me Dio. I'm not my bastard father, he added as he turned back to walk to his office. Come, JoJo, he said, knowing that it would serve to make JoJo blush. I mean, can he fix the light first? You just don't want him to fix the light? You just want to go straight into your office? Fuck it. I guess their light can wait then. Shit. As expected, when he turned to see the young Joestar's expression, his face was a bright scarlet. Dio could practically see the dirty images flirting around his head. Dio almost laughed out loud at how predictable the young man was. They entered the small office room. Dio reclined against the wall, and Jonathan stood just inside the door, nervously looking around. Well, come in, Jonathan. You know I won't bite. Actually, he doesn't know. He doesn't know you. He doesn't know the situation. He doesn't know you got a fucking trap door under the door. He don't know you. So he don't know if you're gonna bite or not. You know I won't bite, he said in a sultry voice, purposely flashing his almost vampiric-looking canines in a cruel smirk. Jonathan awkwardly shuffled a few more feet into the room. It's a setup. Dio walked past him and shut the door, locking it for good measure. Just flustered Jonathan more. It's a setup. Jonathan felt sure that his heart would explode out of his chest with the way Dio was teasing him. His sultry voice, languid poses, over-exaggerated motions and calculated words, all to get him flustered and embarrassed. What's wrong? He practically purred. You're looking very red. I'm fine, he blurted out. No, you're not. No, you are not. Because I would not be fine. Go in this nigga's office, and he walked past you and locked the door. Stranger danger. You don't know him. I get it. You all wrapped up, your feathers all, twisted and fluffed up. You ready? He ready, obviously. But that don't mean that's a yes. I'm guessing that's a yes in fanfiction world. Fucking, maybe I'm wrong. Dio closed in on him, their faces inches away from each other's, as Dio brought a hand brought a hand up to Jonathan's forehead, pretending to feel for a fever. Jonathan held his breath until it was forced out of him by Dio slamming him against the wall and pinning his arms over his head. Dio, he gasped. What are you doing? I saw the way you were looking at me, JoJo. He purred into Jonathan's ear, then licked the shell of it, making Jonathan bite his lip as he tried not to gasp. Jonathan's face burned with embarrassment, and he looked to the side. And then Dio said something that sent shivers down his spine. You're mine now, Jonathan Joestar. Yeah. Got to get the dickin'. Maybe not. No. 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 Jonathan's shirt had ridden up as a result of being pinned, leaving a few inches of his torso deliciously exposed. Dio switched to pinning Jonathan's wrist with one hand, so he could slide the other one down Jonathan's chest until he reached the exposed skin. Dio teased Jonathan by rubbing his belly like one would do with a playful puppy. Jonathan squirmed uncomfortably against the wall, with a blush so bright it revolved the glass of wine sitting at the end table by the couch across the room. When the fuck did wine get there? So, were you drinking wine before he got there? I don't like this situation one bit, because date rape, I'm pretty sure, was a thing back then. So, Jonathan, don't drink that cup. Don't pick that cup up. Whatever you do. Don't. No means no. Jonathan tried to move his wrist to no anvil. Dio let Jonathan get a few inches away from the wall, then slammed him right back into place as a show of power. JoJo swallowed a gas. No one had ever manhandled him like this before, and it turned him on more than he'd like to admit. Dio's teasing hand was now dangerously close to his waistline of his pants, dancing just below his belly button. Jonathan gasped when Dio's hand slipped into his pants. Dio chuckled as he stroked JoJo's dick with his index finger, then slowly closed his fist around Jonathan. Around Jonathan what? His dick or his neck? His hand? You only got 2 hands. Anyway, he leaned in so his nose was almost touching JoJo's neck, and purred. My, you certainly are a big man, Jonathan. Wait, what are we talking about? His penis? As his hand moved up and down Jonathan's penis, earring him a choked moan. Tell me, how tall are you? Oh, we talking about him, like him in general. Okay. Jonathan looked down at him confused for a moment before another moan was coaxed out of him as Dio thumbed at his slit. 6'5"? He gasped. Dio released his wrist in favor of sliding Jonathan's shirt up. Jonathan pulled Dio in and broke his gentlemanly character by aggressively clutching the blonde's tie while kissing him passionately. Dio's hand tightened around his cock, causing him to moan into the kiss. Shortly after, Dio removed his hand from Jonathan's sizable endowment, causing a pitiful whine to escape the brunette's throat. Oh shit! I think you wanted something here. Jonathan was panting, and his eyes were glazed over as he stared at Dio. The blonde sprawled across the couch in a lewd position, revealing a notable bulge in his pants. He beckoned Jonathan with a bent finger, which the brunette obediently complied to. Come on, JoJo, the blonde said, waving his hand over to his crotch. Oh, he said, go on, JoJo. Sorry, I said, come on. Jonathan collapsed to his knee, in between Dio's legs, looking needily at him with unfocused eyes before clumsily opening the buttons to Dio's trousers. Completely forsaking the gentleman's act, he pushed down Dio's pants and boxers simultaneously. The blonde's cock stood half erect as JoJo stared at it. Dio hummed. Wait, question. Does this happen on your normal runs? Because you seemed weirdly too comfortable with this whole ordeal. Go in his room, let him touch your dick, obviously sucking his dick. You just sorry with this. Is this some type of like role playing thing? Like does he call like every weekend like, hello, is George Joestar here? And John's like, he not fucking here. Am I supposed to? No, this is Patrick. No, this is John. And Dio's like, oh, John. I didn't know George had a kid. And John's like, you fucking, I was there yesterday. Dio, we gotta fucking stop doing. Just go along with it. Is this like some type of like role playing thing? I mean, I would believe it, but he a little too comfortable. Dio hummed suggestively deep in his throat as he hungrily gazed at Jonathan. Without further prompting, Jonathan took Dio into his mouth. Showing unexpected skills, he wrapped his tongue around Dio's shaft. See, that's what I mean. It's like, you're too comfortable. You know exactly what the fuck you're doing. I mean, you could just be a hoe. Be really skilled to put dicks in your mouth. That's cool, too. Dio let out a loud groan. His fair complexion finally starting to show a, a flushed shade of pink. Dio struggled to keep his composure. You're quite talented. Dio curled his fingers in the dark hair in his lap and tugged, making Jonathan emit a breathy moan around his mouthful of Dio's cock. The vibrations of Jonathan's voice brought Dio even closer to the edge of release. Despite Jonathan's inexperience, is he inexperienced though? I don't know. You seem to know kind of what you're doing. You just put a dick in your mouth, and everything else comes natural. I'm not gonna tell you how to know. Despite Jonathan's inexperience, he could see the signs of Dio's impending climax. How his chest heaved from his breath, or lack thereof. How the fingers in his hair tightened, the trembling of his muscular body above him, and Dio's voice. Oh, how beautiful it sounded. Oh, how beautiful his voice was. JoJo, he whispered. JoJo. Jonathan whined. The noises of Dio's pressure. Oh shit, I made it seem like he was taking shit. The noises of Dio's pressure and pleasure going straight to his dick. Or rather, going gay to his dick. What? Was that supposed to be a joke? It's in parentheses. Jonathan whined, the noises of Dio's pleasure going straight to his dick. Or rather, going gay to his dick. Alright. Is this how I sound when I break from the story? Like I'm not funny? I know I'm not funny. But that's not funny. Just because you put it in a story don't mean it's funny. He hollowed out his cheeks. So he sucked Dio. As he sucked Dio with a loud slurping sound. Hey! Dio tightened his fingers in Jonathan's dark locks, pulling on his scalp to the point where it was painful. Jonathan moaned as his hair was pulled, arousing his inner masochist. Dio gave a powerful thrust at the orgasm, emptying his essence down Jonathan's throat with a deep moan. Jonathan gulped, swallowing Dio's semen, and looked up at him needingly and with a lust while massively, Jesus Christ, while his massively muscular chest heaved for breath. Dio was in similar shape, chest heaving, and his cheeks were flustered, as were Jonathan's. Come here, Dio said seductively, patting the couch cushion beside him. Jonathan crawled up next to the blonde-haired man. Dio? He said. Dio glanced at Jonathan's pants. Oh, yes, he said in an amused tone as he noticed the brunette's massive erection. Can't I forget about you now, JoJo. Dio undid Jonathan's trousers and blazer along with his t-shirt. He ripped the belt out of Jonathan's trousers and used it to bind his wrists together, immobilizing the man's hands once more. He pushed Jonathan down into the cushions, so his head was situated on the armrest, His long legs hung over the edge of the couch, over the end of the couch. Dio kneeled above him, relinquishing, releasing, relishing, relishing his power over the bigger man. Jonathan's face was stained and red that almost matched Dio's eyes as he looked to the side. Dio stroked the side of his face with an uncharacteristic gentleness, whispering, "Jonathan, Jonathan." The blonde licked down his neck, then bit into the junction where Jonathan's met his shoulder. His mouth filled with a metallic taste of Johnson's blood as his canines pierced tan skin. Jonathan groaned at the sensation, his abs clenching. Dio smirked, noticing Jonathan's seemingly masochistic tendencies. So that's how he likes it. And that's the end of it. It stops here at with a comma, and it says the last time it was updated was March 26, 2017. So it doesn't look like the author is going to come back here. So I think that's the end, or that's where we're going to end it. But to kind of hang it on a cliffhanger, JoJo in his inner masochistic ways, Dio is obviously a sadist, but I don't know. I feel like this is some type of. I think she's gonna, or they're gonna come back and write it, and it'll be like, oh, this is foreplay all along. They knew exactly who the fuck Dio is. It's gonna be like same time next week. Like they should end it like that, because that's what it seemed like. Dio a little too, Jonathan's a little too comfortable with what's going down here. But anyway, guys, thanks for listening with me. I know my voice is annoying, but obviously, if you're listening, either you like what I'm reading or you like how I sound. It's probably you like what I'm reading. Don't worry. It's okay. Well, thanks for coming by. This has been Naughty by Imagination. I'm your host, Napoleon, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.